Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're reviewing the new Kia Sorento with the EX X-Line package. This is the best version of the new Sorento. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Jerry Sander Kia here in Salt Lake for giving me some time with this Sorento. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a turbocharged 2.5 liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed dual clutch automatic. Fuel economy is 20 around town and then 27 on the highway, with power outputs being 281 horsepower and then 311 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, this one's finished in wolf gray, which is such a cool color that Kia does. And then popping down below, we've got the Sorento's new headlight design, which looks very similar to the EV9, really sharp looking. And then you can see how the grille's darker in coloration with this X-Line package. And so putting it all together with the wolf gray and with the little crossbars there at the top, just a really cool look overall. Now around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 255, 45, 20 in the front and over in the rear. And you guys can see here with the wheels completely blacked out, really boxy design overall. And then look at the fender flares here and then the rest of the bodywork. And then notice how this is all blacked out, and you can see the mirror cap blacked out as well as the window trim. And so putting it all together, there's kind of like your contrast with everything on the side. Now taking a look at the key fob, you got the Kia logo there. You can see the remote start function. Then we have our lock and unlock function as well as the opening for the hatch. And then popping inside, you can see we've got a cargo cover built in from the factory. We also have the rear seats here. So with the third row in the Sorento, legroom, just like most SUVs in this segment, a little bit more on the cramped side. And because the roof kind of slopes a little bit, headroom, I mean, you do have headroom, but it's a little bit, again, on the cramped side. Anyways, you can see with the USB ports here in the back, and then we also have the second row fold down function with a 12 volt. But overall, for an SUV of this size, I should say, cool that it even has a third row, and then also it's got good space with third row folded down. Anyways, when you're all done, really cool taillight design here. I mean, look at the intricacies inside, and then you can see the X-Line badge there and then the rest of the badges here on the back. And so wrapping things up, I think you guys can see that the X-Line, it looks cool. Now popping inside, you can see we've got soft touch trim down below with the stitching that goes across, and then I love the look of the handle here, and then this trim's pretty cool. And then here the seats perforated all down the center portion. You do have some adjustments on the side. Legroom back here is really good. We also have a little storage pocket. You can see the vents here, a little 12 volt down below. And then this one actually has captain chairs, which is very interesting. And then headroom, it's good. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you can see soft touch here at the top and then down below. Got all of our window controls here with our mirror adjustments. And the mirrors do have blind spot monitoring. And then taking a look at the front seat again, perforated all down the center portion. Power adjustments on the side, and then you can see with the stability control and the opening for the hatch, and then I like this trim piece, and then soft touch all across the dash. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you can see soft touch all around, and then I like the stitching there on the center. That's really cool. We've got a bunch of practical controls in the front, like our controls for the adaptive cruise control, steering assist, volume voice command controls as well. And then you can see with the stalks in the back. Digital gauge cluster here in the center, and you can scroll through and see different bits of information here on the vehicle with this gauge cluster. And then on top of that, when you change the drive mode, it will kind of show that the gauge cluster changes it to red, for example, in sport. Just a regular backup camera in reverse. Direction lines turn with the steering wheel. And then, as for the rest of the infotainment system, response time, I mean, you can see it's pretty dang quick overall, so easy enough to use with that. Probably noticed the nice trim across the dash. Look at the vent, how that kind of goes across. That's really cool. And then we've got our multi-function controls here. So notice it's controlling climate, and that is controlling the radio. Heated seat controls down below. And then you got USB ports and then wireless phone charging pad as well. And then taking a look at the shifter here for the 8-speed, a really chunky look. Got some cup holders here, and then you can see with the drive mode select, also the center locking differential, and then we've got the auto stop, start, turn that on off, auto hold, hill descent control, parking brake, parking sensors for the camera, and then good space in the center console, nice on top. Now the glove box, yeah, pretty solid, and then we do have a panoramic sunroof. Now taking a look at the window sticker, you guys can see X-Line EX 2.5T, and after all options and everything, $44,390 is the total MSRP on this. Let's see how it drives. Talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility over the hood, both the mirrors, dual blind spot wiring, with the rest of the rear. And let us set off in the, let me turn this down, I don't know why it's up so high. Let us set off in the best version of the Sorento. So the reason why I think this is the best version is, although I personally like the X Pro a little bit more, I think the X-Line is more practical for most buyers because this is cool looking on the exterior, and it's gonna get a little bit better fuel economy because it didn't have the all-terrain tires. And so most people want cooler looks and they don't want to pay more in gas. And yeah, so this, I don't know, I think it makes sense. Now with this new Sorento, drives really well. So first off, ride quality, it's comfy. Seat comfort's also good. And that's the thing about this EX package, the EX version of the X-Line, it still has nice seats. You know, obviously the SX Prestige is a little bit fancier, but it's like, who needs that? I don't, that's for sure. It does have the cooled seat function with that, whereas this just has the heated seat function. But again, who needs cooled seats? I think that having heated seats is more than enough in terms of a feature. Subaru towing another Subaru. Look at that. Also, a bunch of snow falling off the back. We'll see how this does over the train tracks here. But yeah, so far, really nice drive. Yeah, comfortable with the suspension. And these seats are nice. I like these seats. Kia does a good job with the bolstering and everything. And really tight fit and finish with the interior as well. So I think that's another big plus. And the turbo engine so far has been doing great. No complaints with that whatsoever. Yeah, smooth. And I do like the fact that, like, even up here, soft touch. So again, in this EX package, it still has a premium feeling interior. You don't get the cool headliner you get in the Prestige, but it's like, who needs that, right? Plus it's like $3 grand more for that. So that'll get me into summing things up here with this, and why I think, again, this is the best package to get on the new Sorento. So first off, exterior styling, this works with the Sorento really well because the Sorento has a sportier look, and so this having the blacked out stuff to make it look sportier, it just makes sense. So that's the first thing. And then the interior is really nice, so nice materials with this EX package. It has all the features you need. It doesn't really have anything, like, it doesn't have a 360 camera, it doesn't have the cooled seats, doesn't have the fancy headliner, but half that stuff I don't think is necessary. Like, you just need a backup camera, you don't need a 360 camera. This is not a huge vehicle, so I think a backup camera, or sorry, 360 camera rather, would be overkill. I think this is more than adequate. And then it just drives well. It's got the turbo engine, so it's got quite a bit of power. So again, it has everything you need, and then it's a more affordable Sorento. It's $44,000 instead of $47,000, $48,000 that the SX Prestige is. So let me know what you guys think about the new Sorento in general, and let me know if you think if this is the Sorento to get. I think this is the one to get with how it's packaged out.